The Chase Center was packed that Wednesday night. Golden State Warriors faced the Denver Nuggets in a crucial matchup to secure a playoff position. The energy was palpable, with thousands of fans wearing blue and yellow, many proudly displaying Stephen Curry's number 30 jersey. In the first half, Curry was simply unstoppable. His three-point shots fell with that surgical precision that made him legendary. Opposing defenders seemed powerless against his quick movements and ability to create space. By the end of the second quarter, he had already accumulated 24 points, 5 assists, and 3 steals. "Curry is playing at another level today," commented the announcer as the teams returned for the third quarter. "He seems determined to carry this team on his back." The game remained tight. The Nuggets began to reduce the difference in the score, approaching dangerously. With 7 minutes and 13 seconds left until the end of the third period, with the Warriors leading by just 4 points, came the moment that would silence the entire arena. Curry dribbled past his defender at the three-point line, cut toward the paint, and when planting his right foot for a change of direction, his ankle turned at an unnatural angle. The sound in the gymnasium changed instantly, from the deafening roar to a stunning silence, broken only by the star's groan of pain as he fell to the floor. The cameras captured everything: the exact moment of the twist, the expression of acute pain on Curry's face, his hands immediately grabbing his ankle, and the concern stamped on the faces of teammates, opponents, and fans. The medical team rushed onto the court while coach Steve Kerr watched with apprehension. Draymond Green and Klay Thompson approached their fallen teammate, offering words of comfort. The audience, standing, observed in respectful silence. Supported by the doctors, Curry limped off the court, his face contorted, refusing to be carried. A final gesture of dignity in the face of obvious frustration. In the tunnel leading to the locker room, away from the cameras, he finally allowed the gravity of the situation to reveal itself in his expression. In the locker room, the initial examinations indicated a significant sprain. Curry, sitting on the stretcher, ice wrapping his ankle, stared at the floor. This wasn't just another missed game, it was crucial weeks of the season at risk. In the stands, fans checked their phones for updates, sharing theories and fears. On the court, his teammates tried to maintain focus, but the void left was undeniable. When the game ended, Curry was already on his way to the hospital for more detailed examinations. He left through the back door of the arena, avoiding journalists, downcast and worried about what the coming days would reveal. The corridor of the medical center seemed endless as Curry awaited the results of the MRI. Lying in the cold machine, his thoughts oscillated between hope and concern. It wasn't new to him. His history of ankle injuries was well known, but each new occurrence carried the weight of the previous ones, added to the expectations of millions of fans. "Mr. Curry, we'll need a few more images," said the technician with a neutral voice, trained to reveal nothing in her tone. The prolonged session only increased his apprehension. 3 hours later, in a conference room at the hospital, the team doctor presented the images on a screen to Curry, his wife Aisha, the Warriors, Priti Kosturn, general manager, and coach Steve Kerr. "We're looking at a grade 2 sprain with partial damage to the ligament," explained the doctor, pointing to the shadowed area in the image. "Fortunately, there's no fracture, but the ligament has suffered significant stretching." The sentence came as a blow. "We recommend an initial absence of 6 to 8 weeks, with weekly reassessments." Curry momentarily closed his eyes. 6 weeks meant missing a good part of the remaining regular season. That night, an official statement was released by the franchise, generating waves of reactions on social media and sports programs. "This is a devastating loss for the Warriors," analyzed a commentator on ESPN. The question now is whether they can maintain their position in the playoffs without their main player. The real challenge, however, began the next day. The first physical therapy session was a cruel reminder of the limits of the human body. The swelling was still significant, and each small movement caused pain. "We're going to start very slowly, Stephen," advised Lisa, his longtime physical therapist. "Today is just ice, electrical stimulation, and minimal movements." At home, Curry tried to maintain a positive attitude in front of his children. But when he retired to his room, frustration manifested. Sitting on the couch with his foot elevated, he watched replays of the moment of injury on sports news, each new angle reinforcing the randomness of the incident. "You don't need to. Watch this," commented Aisha, handing him a cup of tea. "I need to understand what happened," he replied, pausing the image, "to make sure it doesn't happen again." The days transformed into a monotonous routine of physiotherapy sessions, limited exercises, and meetings with the medical team. Meanwhile, his teammates struggled on the courts, facing difficulties to maintain rhythm without their leader. On a particularly difficult night, after the Warriors suffered a crushing defeat, Curry participated in a video call with the team. "We're doing our best, man," said Klay Thompson, his Splash Brothers partner. "But we miss you out there." "I'm working hard to come back," assured Curry, forcing a smile that didn't reach his eyes. After the call, alone in his home office, he contemplated the shelves filled with trophies, MVP, championships, records, won over years of dedication. Beside them, photos of moments of overcoming after previous injuries. Between one treatment session and another, doubts assailed him. At 36 years old, each injury took a higher toll. Recovery was slower, the way back steeper. Time, that invisible and relentless adversary, seemed to accelerate. What if I don't return to the same level? The question that no athlete wants to face hung in the air. 3 weeks had passed since the injury. Curry's routine had transformed into a predictable cycle of treatments, controlled exercises, and long hours of forced boredom. The ankle showed gradual improvements, but progress seemed painfully slow. Impatience, perhaps the greatest challenge for an athlete accustomed to constant movement, became an unwanted companion. That Thursday afternoon, Marcus, the Warriors' public relations manager, stopped by his house for an update on requested interviews and brought several boxes with him. "More fan letters arrived this week," he explained, placing the boxes in the entrance hall. "We'd like to select some for you to respond to when you feel up to it." Curry nodded distractedly. Normally, the team filtered correspondence, selected some for standard responses, and forwarded only special messages. But today, something made him look at those boxes with renewed interest. "Leave them here," he said. "I'll take a look." Later, sitting in his office with his ankle elevated, Curry began to open some of the envelopes. There were messages from fans of all ages, children's drawings, letters of encouragement, personal stories. Each represented someone who cared, who felt his absence on the courts. It was then that a colorful envelope caught his attention. Different from the others, it was hand-decorated with drawings of basketballs and small arcs. Upon opening it, he found a carefully folded notebook sheet and some photographs. "Dear Stephen Curry," the letter began in neat, childish handwriting. "My name is Miguel. I'm 10 years old, and I live in Oakland. You don't know me, but I wanted to tell you that we're going through the same thing. Now, 3 weeks ago, I fell playing basketball at school and hurt my leg. I needed surgery, and the doctor said I'll be out of play for 4 months." Curry adjusted himself in the chair, suddenly more interested. The same day I got hurt, I saw on TV that you had also gotten injured. My mom said it was a coincidence, but I don't think so. I think it happened to give me strength. Whenever I get sad in physical therapy, I think, Curry is doing this now, too. The photos showed a Latino boy with a shy smile, lying in a hospital bed, wearing a Warriors shirt with the number 30. Another photo showed him with crutches in a physical therapy room, with a cast on his right leg. My physical therapist is named Daniela. She's nice, but the exercises hurt a lot. Do you feel pain, too? Daniela says the pain means I'm getting better, but sometimes it's hard to believe. Curry's eyes moistened as he continued reading. Every day, I do the exercises and count to 30 to hold firm. Because of your jersey, I'm saving all the news about your recovery, and I'll cheer for your return. We're recovering together, even though we've never met. Curry reread the letter a second time, and then a third. The last lines touched him deeply. When they ask me who my hero is, I say it's you. Not just for the three-point shots, but because you always get up after falling. We're recovering together, even though we've never met. A tear rolled down the star's face as he stared at the photo of little Miguel in his physical therapy session. The boy was smiling, even clearly in discomfort, wearing a shirt with his number. That image crystallized something Curry had always known, but sometimes forgot in the pressure of daily life. His impact went far beyond the courts. Without hesitation, he called Aisha to the office. I need to find this boy, he said, showing her the letter. He's going through the same struggle as me, but with much more courage. The following morning, Curry contacted the EVD Warriors Foundation, determined to locate Miguel and his family. In less than 24 hours, a video call was organized. The NBA star in his home physical therapy room, and Miguel at his home in Oakland. Stephen Curry? The boy's face lit up with disbelief when the call connected. Is it really you? Yes, it is, champion, replied Curry with a genuine smile. I received your letter and wanted to thank you personally. You gave me a new perspective on our recovery. For 15 minutes, they talked like old friends about pain, exercises, boredom, and perseverance. Miguel showed his exercises, and Curry demonstrated his own. The star listened attentively when the boy described how he counted to 30 to endure the difficult moments. You know what? I'm going to adopt your technique, said Curry. In the next session, I'll also count to 30. A week later, a special package arrived at Miguel's house. Personalized shoes with the signatures Curry and Miguel side by side, and the phrase "recovering together" engraved on the side. What began as a unique gesture transformed into a regular connection. Weekly, Curry and Miguel exchanged messages about their progress. The star began to share his recovery process on social media, mentioning how a special letter had renewed his determination. In his first press conference since the injury, Curry surprised everyone by revealing, "When I return to the courts, I'll have a special guest, a 10-year-old boy who has taught me more about resilience than I could imagine." That night, Curry carefully framed Miguel's letter, placing it on his trophy shelf. There, among the MVP awards and championship rings, that simple paper gained a prominent place. A reminder that, sometimes, our greatest victory is in who we inspire along the way.